I'm excited. This is my first video after birth. Persons are like, oh, where's the baby reveal? No baby reveal. I There's some parts of my life that I still keep private, even though I share information with you guys. There's some parts that I still keep private, and this is one part that I want to keep private until, as well as further want to keep this private as possible. I always have my head to the side like, girl. Hey everyone, it's your girl Natalya Spencer. Welcome back to another video, and if you're new here, do not forget to subscribe. I will be discussing my birth in this vlog, C-section, as well as being a NICU mom. So let's get into it. So I gave birth about a month ago, a month and some change. Yes, a month and some change ago, and I decided not to do a labor and delivery vlog just because I wanted to soak up the moment and just be in the moment, enjoy every step of it, as well as I did a C-section and I went under anesthesia, so I didn't do like a spinal or anything like that, so there wasn't really much to show. So yeah. Alright, so I opted, well, the doctor chose to do a C-section because I had complications with my pregnancy. The complication I wanted to speak to you guys about, I keep doing several videos, so I'm going to speak about this, is the losing of amniotic fluid around your baby. Now, I didn't know this was as common because even when I was experiencing this, there was another girl that my friend knew, she was experiencing it, and they delivered her baby. I was very lucky because I was placed on bed rest. Now, what happened to me is I was feeling really dizzy at work, so I was on a 2 weeks break. Went back to work, and immediately I started feeling like dizzy. So each day I go in, I started feeling dizzy. I thought it was because of my eating, because my pregnancy didn't allow me to eat, so I thought it was that. I started to try and eat better, trying to fill myself up, but it wasn't that. And I just knew something was wrong, so I went to the doctor. Immediately when I went to the doctor and did an ultrasound, like, he didn't even have to measure the water around the baby. Like, just looking at the ultrasound, you could see that I lost water around the baby. Now, when I was about 7 months, I had an incident in the bathroom where I was passing fluid, but we just thought, we didn't think anything of it. I went to the doctor, everything was fine. But I can't say you can see that you're losing fluid, because I didn't see that I was losing fluid. I didn't feel like I wet myself, none of that. I felt completely normal, apart from being dizzy or having to lay down because I felt like my heart was racing or all of that, the pressure. So when I went to the doctor and found out, he put me on bed rest for 2 weeks. I wanted to rush and go back to work, which by the time I was supposed to go back to work after the 2 weeks, I really couldn't go back because I wasn't better. And sometimes, well, I see online that sometimes some persons' water go back up, and then some persons, the water just never go back up, like it just, they load the entire pregnancy. So I wanted to just ensure, like at that point I was just like, all right, let's not go back to work and just ensure the baby is good. So I was on bed rest until I had my baby, because we didn't want anything to happen. Each time I went back to the doctor, I had to check if my placenta was doing what it's supposed to do, if the baby is getting enough nutrients and all of that, because my baby is tiny. Alright, so my last visit to the doctor, I was 36 weeks, and he just said to me, he said, we're going to do your delivery, and he scheduled the C-section date. Speak about my C-section and my experience. So I went to the hospital about like 6 something in the morning. If you watch my last video, you'll see like little snippets, etc. I really love this hospital. The nurses were so nice. Like, big up on yourself if you ever find this video. But the nurses were really nice. Went in, my doctor came and he spoke to me, did my registration, signed some documents, and I just stayed there until the pediatrician came, because I had to have the pediatrician because of the baby, like his complications. I had to have the pediatrician there, and I just stayed in the room with my mother and my sister until it was time. And then they brought me downstairs into the theater, which I was there. I was up for some time, so I was speaking to like the nurses, and I was speaking to the doctors and the anesthesiologists, because I was like, the nurse had on makeup. I was like, girl, I could put makeup on too, but then it wouldn't matter because I'm like made a video or picture or whatever after. So I was talking to her about her makeup, and just other things, and then I hear them talking around me. Then they're like, all right, they're ready. They prepped the area where they're going to cut, and then the anesthesiologist put me underneath, and that was it. I woke up after in my room, my recovery room. Normally them say people talk come on. Normally they say people talk crap when they're coming from under anesthesia, but I was alert. I was asking the pediatrician how much the baby weighed, and I remember my doctor, he said to me, he was like, it looked like you're not even the surgery. I was like, So everything my hands, I was like, And then I heard the baby crying, and I asked the nurse, I was like, is he okay? And then she hold him up to the side and showed me. And I wasn't sleeping. I turned on my side, and then the other nurse was like, she's like, you do a C-section already, why are you moving? I was like, no, but I can't sleep like this. And then the other nurse said to me, she said, I have to try and sleep, else my blood pressure is going to go up. So I just went to bed. My mother said when I went to bed, they went to get food, but the doctor came out and said to her that I can go home the next day because it doesn't even look like I did surgery. PS, I recovered very quick from my scoliosis surgery as well, and this surgery was the same, and I'm going to tell you why, because I really had no choice. So with my C-section, they I didn't have like stitches and stuff outside. I removed the bandage the next day. My doctor removed the bandage. By the next day, I was walking, I was going to the restroom myself, and all of that. I was eating, all of that. I didn't have any complications, and I knew this would happen because I recover fast, from my scoliosis surgery, and then this because I put in my head that I have no choice, and I was supposed to be at the hospital for 2 nights. My sister stayed 1 night, and then I was going to be there alone the other night because she had work. And I wanted everybody to get like rest and stuff like that. So I was like, all right, let's stay. But being there, the pediatrician came and she spoke to me, and she said, well, the baby's not feeding how he should, as well as he's not breathing properly, so we're going to have to admit him to Cornwall. And my whole world changed. I was so confused. I didn't know. Me can just tell me this. Just when you leave your baby in the hospital, your brain can't even work. Your brain can't function. You turn fool. At the first in my life, but under pressure, I'm turn complete fool. Like I was just not thinking. I was asking for a transfer to Sentence Bay, but then I was speaking to my doctor because I really trust my doctor. So I spoke to him and I said, what do you think? And he said he trusts the pediatrician here, he knows her and he knows her resources. So he would say Cornwall, but if I want a transfer, I can get it. And I said, all right, let's let the baby stay at Cornwall. So mark you, this is the day after my C-section. I had to go over to Cornwall, so I drove over to Cornwall, which is like 3 minutes down, further down. Drove there. They had steps to go down to the NICU, and I went on those steps the day after surgery. Went down the steps, sat down with the doctors, and we registered him, and I was just crying. Like I was just crying. At that point, normally I don't cry in public. Wait till I reach out, I cry, I feel that kind of way. All if I want to move me and watch everybody else, I feel some type of way, I'll wait. But I couldn't hold it. Like I was crying and I felt so bad because I was like, everybody is okay, the parents are in the rooms across from me and they look fine and whatever, but I just kept crying. Registered him, and then I had to leave. Just going home that night, I cried so much. Like coming home, I cried so much. And every cry I cry, I could feel it in my belly, because you know, just the surgery, and it was nothing good, nothing good. All right, so C-section recovery. I did not have horrible pains. I When I got up to walk, I made up my mind. Probably because this was a planned C-section, I kind of make up my mind to go through the motions. I make up my mind to walk and feel the pain and all of that. But it wasn't bad. I was not on pain meds. They asked me, and I told them that I didn't need it because I wasn't feeling that way. The first time I got up to walk, I was a little bit dizzy, but then it passed. I sat down and it passed. Going home, and I went to explain like the whole NICU journey, but I went home the night after, and usually what happened is I'm fine during the day. I can walk. I was walking with a limp, and I had to hold my belly when I was walking, but it wasn't bad for me like how other mothers describe it. I could walk, I could sit, I could move. And the night when I was going home, by the time I reached home, that's when all the pain come down. So I took a pill that my doctor prescribed, and that was it. Went to bed, got up in the morning, and I don't feel anything. So my routine was I don't feel anything in the mornings. I don't know if I had my baby home, if it would have been different, because I'm getting up to do things for him, if I would feel more. But no, because I was traveling every day, so I think it would be the same thing. I was traveling every day, going to places, doing this and doing that to try and make sure he was fine in the NICU. So I was moving up and down a whole lot, and I thank God because I didn't feel that pain that everybody speak about. I showered the day after my C-section, so I didn't have to wait for that, and I was consuming food the day after my C-section as well. But I didn't have much pains. I can't tell you about that, like that 2 weeks or whatever. The only thing is that my tummy feel a little bit tender. So before I put on a waist belt that I wear during the days, I waited like 3 weeks before I started wearing a waist belt, because my stomach area was a little bit tender. Like if you touch it, it's tender. So that was about it for me with my C-section recovery. As I said, I traveled every day with my C-section to look for the baby. So alright, so with the NICU journey, let's speak about that. And you'll hear me mention like me trying to recover as well during this phase. The next day, I make sure I asked my doctor, I was like, could I drive to Montego Bay every day? He said, alright, try and do it. Put something in front of the seat belt to stuff where my tummy area is, and just, you know, my mother had to take time, and it's about an hour from where I live. So I got up the next morning, went down. The nurses, they teach you how to, you have to scrub before you go into the NICU, as well as put gowns on and your mask. Each time you're going in, you have to do this. And went in, did this, scrubbed everything, and I was just so excited to see him. He was so tiny, and he was there for about 7 days. He was there for about 7 days under observation, trying to get his breathing right and make sure that he's feeding properly before they sent him home. Now, I used to have a friend, who told me she don't wish this on anybody because she had a preemie baby. She was like, I don't wish this on anybody. I don't hear anybody speak much about NICU in Jamaica, or like the life, or like anything like that. I've never heard it before. I know somebody who went through a similar experience like 2 months before me, because she had a preemie baby. She was in a hospital for 10 days, but I couldn't talk to anybody. I didn't feel like expressing myself or any of that, because I didn't know how to. I didn't have any friends that went through this except that one person. We should know it's going to get better, but just going there every day and leaving him and like getting updates from the doctor. And, you know, at one point they didn't know when he was going to leave as yet, because they have to run tests and all of that. And just each time I went, I kept breaking down. There were days that I wanted to stay home so I could heal. So I didn't want any swelling or anything for my tummy. But every time I stayed home, by the time it reached like 12 o'clock or whatever, like I miss my child. Like I just start getting ready and be like, I have to go down there to see him. And I'd spend like hours down there and come back up in the evening. And I prayed so much. I prayed before he was here. I prayed after, and then I prayed in the NICU. I prayed for the other children in there, because going in there, his situation wasn't as bad. He wasn't on the light. He didn't have tubes hooked up to him. So I was very happy that I could hold my baby. But there are other babies in there that they couldn't hold their children, and I felt so bad, and I prayed. I just kept praying. I prayed for my baby. I prayed for everybody else's baby in the room. I met nice mothers. So we couldn't assist each other, but then we could talk and share. And then they knew I did a C-section, so mothers there, they could see that I got a cut, so they looked out for me. If I wanted a chair, they would pass a chair for me and all of that. And it's not the best experience, but the nurses at Cornwall in that NICU, they were very helpful, very helpful. I thought they were more helpful than the doctors, because the doctors come in the morning to give you like an update, but sometimes they take long, and I don't feel like they were considerate for mothers who just had babies. Even though I know the ward was full and it's hard for them, I feel like they could organize it a little better to meet with the parents or something. I don't know, something need for organized there, so like who meet with the parents and how quick you get one update and stuff like that, because they do updates in the morning, but I feel like they can have somebody who stay there on the ward to do updates throughout the day. Because look at me, I can't come from here early in the morning every morning to go down to get an update on my child, and when I go, the nurses are not able to give me certain information. So I think they can work on that. We have free healthcare in Jamaica. We shouldn't have free healthcare because we cannot afford it. Because if we were paying somebody, probably we would have somebody there during the day to give us an update on our child. Like, free healthcare in Jamaica don't make no sense. But anyways, other than that, my experience there was good. So my baby was in there for a week. I went the Tuesday. No, I went the Monday, and I spoke to his doctors, and they said, well, they have a test waiting on, and if all is well, by in the evening they would send him home. But I left. They said they called my phone 5 times, didn't get a call, and I was expecting a call the other day, matter of fact, which was the Tuesday. The Tuesday I didn't get a call, because I was like, I'm not going to the hospital unless I get a call. But then I started getting sad as usual, and I started to cry. So I was like, alright, I have to go down to see him. I wanted to stay home the Tuesday, didn't stay home, went down. I wanted the nurse, she was like, Spencer, your baby's supposed to go over, call you 5 times. I was like, I did not get a call. And I was so happy. They walked me through what to do when I am home, how to ensure that he feeds, burping, how much this is supposed to pass, what kind of breathing to expect, and all of that. They briefed me, and he was home. So, and I know I can speak on this because of my experience. I saw mother coming down when I went for a review on my child, because they asked her to come in for a review so they can weigh him to make sure that he's still gaining weight, etc. She had a C-section the day before, and she was coming down the steps, and I said to her, I said, I give you until tomorrow, you're going to find the strength to come down the steps. And I just wanted to encourage her, because I found the strength to go down the steps and to just be there for my baby. Being a NICU mother is very hard, because you don't know when your child is coming home. Sometimes you don't know what is wrong, and you're waiting on tests, and it can be hard. I had support. I had a lot of support. Even though I didn't want to talk about the direct situation, I had a lot of support. But persons, you'll get through this. I know a lot of persons, they don't get to carry on the child ever, because things don't go as planned. But sometimes it gets better. In my situation, it got better. Just pray. I mean, I can't tell you how much I used to pray before, but I cannot tell you how much prayers I did, and I got through it. I asked God for strength, and I got through it. One of the hardest things. I said to my friends, I was like, oh, I don't feel the love everybody's talking about when you become a mother. But that moment when they told me he was staying, I was completely different. It's like mambo chicken. So just have faith. Hang in there. So now I'm currently adjusting to life. I was so worried about how you're going to know, like, when your baby wants to change, how you're going to know when he's hungry and all of that. And it's so weird to me now, because as I look at my baby, I know exactly what he wants. I know when his tummy is hurting. I know when he's definitely not going back to sleep. And I know when he wants his feed, when he wants some cuddle. And it's just so weird because, like, you know. I'm very thankful, fingers crossed, I don't have a crybaby. He's very quiet. They used to call him quiet man in the hospital because he didn't cry much or he didn't do much. He would just, he's making sounds when he's hungry, but it's not like that bad crying. And I thank God for that, because God give you what you can manage, and God give me what I can manage for now, I can say. But it has been a good experience since I've carried him home. I don't feel depressed, and I thank God for that as well, because I know postpartum is real. So I don't feel that way yet. I've had sleepless nights, yes, but what I do is I stay up with him if he's not feeling well, and then I sleep in the mornings. So my experience so far is good, and I'm adjusting well to motherhood. That's no baby reveal, I'm so sorry, but I'll still make snippets of how I do things and things that I recommend. I was supposed to do a video on my registry items. I haven't done that, but if you look on TikTok, which is linked down below, most of the items are on my Amazon storefront as well. I discuss the items on my TikTok because it's easier for me to do. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video and my little explanation and just sharing my experience. And if you look on my TikTok, you'll see the video of the room. So in case you want to check that hospital out, I posted the room on my TikTok, so you can go and check that out. And just a reminder, if you're a NICU mom, just hang in there. It gets better, and then if it don't, God knows best. There's certain parts of my life that I still keep private, even though I vlog things for you guys to see. I still keep things private in my life. I've never shared relationship. I've never shared stuff like that, because stuff like that is dear to me. I'll only share experiences. So you guys may not see baby A until later, like way later when he's older, because I want to give him the opportunity to just, it's either he chooses, like, you know, when kids get older, they'll say, I want to make like a TikTok or something. I don't know what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe, and I can't wait to bring my lifestyle videos. Like I keep saying to my friends, let's go to brunch. So I can't wait to bring that back to you guys. Bye.